So it's kind of intended as a kind of legacy to Isle of Architecture, and as a result, we've kind of picked our favourite kind of things we've done in that, and got sort of running a few of those in the week. So we've got a Pecha Kucha evening, which perhaps we'll explain a bit later on. Next Tuesday, Wednesday, we're teaming up with the Isle of Man Drawing Club, which is really exciting. So that's a new thing for us this year. Thursday, we run film night every now and then at the Bath and Bottle in Victoria Street. So we've got one of those. And then Friday, the great thing I think we did in Isle of Architecture was running. We never thought of a good kind of name for it, but we settled on gigs in interesting spaces. So so we're kind of welcome to kind of any better titles for that sort of program. But we had quite a few of those, and the idea was that we would put a band in a space that wasn't usually used for gigs, and the idea was we would hopefully get their audience to kind of come to the gig, but also try and bring some of the kind of architecture people to see them. So we had about sort of 7 or 8 of those of one sort or another over the year. And so we've got one of those, and that's at Our Lady Star of the Sea and St Maccled Church in Ramsey, which is an amazing building. You know, which building is that? The thing is that I think a lot of people won't even know it's there.
I can't think of it.
Exactly. Yeah. But it was designed by the guy who designed Liverpool Cathedral.
Wow.
Yes. Battersea Power Station. Bankside, which is where Tate Modern is now, and he also designed the red telephone box.
Oh, wow.
The red telephone box, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
And so one of his early buildings is in Ramsey, and it's a beautiful, amazing building that you wouldn't necessarily have been in. So for that, we're really, really lucky. We've got Ruth Kegan and Malcolm Stitt playing, and also Mira Royal, who was the Radio 2 Young Folk Awards winner this year. So I mean, that's going to be really, really good. That's a way of closing the week. It'll be fantastic.
So that closes the week, but you did say you're starting off with a Pecha Kucha. Now, I keep seeing this phrase over the past sort of couple of years. It seems to be like the trendy thing to do. Just explain it for us.
Well, it came from Japan, I think. And the idea is it's a kind of quick way of getting your ideas across. So it's like a PowerPoint presentation. You get 20 slides, and you have 20 seconds to talk about each one. And it clicks on to the next one. So it's kind of fast-paced. Each talk takes about 6.5 minutes, and so you have sort of 6 or 7 talks in an evening. And we did one last year, and it was great. I think everyone really enjoyed it. We had sort of a couple of architects, a couple of art students, a planning officer, and Katie, who came and talked about their Cake and Keel program, which I don't know if you saw that blog. It was fantastic. So it's kind of a bit varied, and you can have a beer and some food, and it moves on quite quickly. And it's quite a good way of kind of, it's informal, I think. That's the thing. You can kind of deal with some kind of interesting topics without getting too heavy about it.
It kind of reflects society now, doesn't it? That idea that we just need to absorb things really quickly, and that we sort of like move on to the next topic so quick nowadays, don't we?
That's right. That's right. I think it started by some architects who were trying to get their ideas across quickly, you know, and the sort of discipline of it is really difficult. I mean, I did the one last year, and then I also they're having them at Isle Expo as well for the creative industries section, and I did one this year, and both times I've just tried to say too much, you know, but then you see other ones where they kind of say a little bit and then they have to wait for the slide to click onto the next one. You know, it's really difficult to gauge, how to pitch it. And I think the best ones just kind of can quite happily chat over their slides, you know, whereas I have to have everything written down.
And who's that sort of event for then? Is it for other people that are interested in buildings? Is it for the general public, or what can people find out at something like that?
Well, I think it's for anyone who's interested in kind of any of these things, you know, in Manx culture or heritage or architecture, you know. And we've got a couple of architects doing talks. One on the Sea Terminal building. He did a piece in the IHBC, which, you know, I can't remember what it stands for, but it's a building conservation organisation in
make
England.
Something up in the background.
Yeah, I can see those.
I was, but it's probably not broadcastable.
They did a whole magazine on the Isle of Man last year, and so there was a piece about the Sea Terminal building. So he's going to develop that. We've got a couple of people from Manx National Heritage coming down to do a piece, and a couple of others. So I think it'll be really good. You know, everyone we talked to last year had a really strange as it might sound, had a really enjoyable time.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Because architecture does affect all of us. We all have our personal tastes when it comes to buildings that we like. As you say, there are some incredible examples of buildings, both historic and modern, over here. And it's just a great way of finding out more about it without getting too in depth, because sometimes it is just about what you like and what you don't like.
It is. And I think as well, these aren't going to be heavy theoretical talks. I think they are going to be sort of aimed at everyone.
It's like speed dating, but for architects.
Yeah.
It is a bit, yes, yeah, exactly.